Barclays Center, A10 Player of the Year, Tyler Kalinowski hit the game-winning shot at the buzzer to send #1 seed Davidson to the semifinal round of the A10 tournament. They'll meet the winner of our next game, featuring VCU taking on Richmond, as #4 meets #5 with a trip to the semis on the line next. Crosstown rivals have come to Brooklyn, where they will meet for the third time this season. #5 VCU and #4 Richmond. The Spiders had the double bye through to the quarterfinal round of the A10 tournament, while VCU outlasted Fordham yesterday in the second round. Steve Schlanger once again alongside Dallin Cuff here at the Barclays Center. Well, it's going to be tough to outdo the ending from our first game, but when you have rivals like this, you always have a shot, as VCU goes up against Richmond for the third time this season. And for VCU, looking for their first win over the Spiders this year, a junior from the Bronx, Melvin Johnson, is going to have to play a pivotal role.
He's going to have to step up and knock down shots, really. This team outlasted, is a good word, Steve, Fordham last night. They shot 30% from the field. Johnson, though, 4 for 7 from deep, 5 for 8 overall. They're going to need him to knock down that outside shot. He makes about 2.6 a game. That's good for 6th in the league. That 2-3 matchup zone, switching man, whatever you want to call it, that Richmond runs, he's going to have to step up and hit shots to loosen that up. Kendall Anthony for the Spiders, and he is the guy that makes them go. First team all-league guard, the 5'8" diminutive point guard, not scared of anybody, can knock down shots, can finish inside, and sets the table for his team quite a bit. 17.5 points, 6.5 assists in their 2 wins they had over the Rams. Last one was a double overtime, so maybe we have even a better game coming up than the one we just saw.
Travion Graham has had some huge games against VCU in the past. He also had 22 in the win over Fordham yesterday, but still playing on a bum ankle. Shaka Smart, the 37-year-old, won his 160th game as head coach yesterday, only the 4th coach to win that many games in his first 6 seasons. For Richmond, TJ Klein is a player to keep an eye on, always a deep threat for the Spiders, and Chris Mooney is the 10th-year head coach, a former A10 Coach of the Year. And let's say hello to the 3rd member of our broadcast crew here at the Barclays Center. She's been here throughout, never missing a beat, Carolyn Mano. Hey, Carolyn.
Hi, Steve. Thanks. Well, Dallin mentioned VCU's cold streak offensively, that some of the shots that they've gotten looks at haven't been falling, and Briante Weber's injury has had a lot to do with that. He was such a key player for them, and back in January, it was against this Richmond team where he shredded his knee, ACL, MCL, everything. He's been on the sidelines with the team, on the bench ever since. He's still a very vocal part of what they want to do. In terms of the shots falling, Shaka Smart told us after the game yesterday, it's going to happen. The dam's going to break. It's just a matter of when. Steve?
Well, will it be today against this Richmond team? They have failed to beat in 2 meetings this season, both of those close single-digit games, however.
And you're going to need to, again, I say it again, make shots. It's a simple game when it comes down to it. You got to put the ball in the basket. And talking to Shaka Smart yesterday and today, all he said was, we just got to be aggressive, because they can play that 2-3 matchup zone, switching man, and kind of lull you to sleep a little bit. You can be very perimeter oriented, excuse me. He wants them to attack on offense and defense, take the game to the Spiders.
It's the 2nd year in a row they have met in the quarterfinal round. Last year, VCU won by 18, and the Rams have won 4 of the last 6 overall between the two. Richmond in the white and VCU the dark. TJ Klein losing the handle, recovered by Anthony.
Richmond runs that Princeton-style offense, invert their offense, a lot of high post action, a lot of cutting, back cutting. But they'll look to go up tempo when they can, look to get in transition.
Perry Allen missing the 3, and it's a VCU foul on the rebound.
And that's rare, because again, Princeton coach teams get back in terms of Princeton, I should say, bred coaches always get back. Their 3, 4, and 5 man, with 4 and 5 men stay right there. And Trey Davis picking up the foul there, and a rarity, because they're only 341st in the country in terms of offensive rebound rate. They don't crash, but that's an extra possession. VCU can't have that happen early in this game.
Very deliberate in the half-court offense. Taylor lost it in the lane, and VCU gets their first steal of the basketball game.
Richmond doesn't turn it over a lot, just under 10 a game. They're good for 10th in the country, 2nd in the conference, only behind Davidson.
Travion Graham spinning. Gets the rebound, takes it back up, and it's blocked. Trey Davis on the outlet to Terry Allen, who finishes.
And that's where they'll be opportunistic in transition. They can get a quick shot in secondary or a quick shot in a fast break like that. They will absolutely take it.
Richmond, one of the few teams really able to beat VCU at their own game. They take care of the basketball. They can force a lot of turnovers. JeQuan Lewis getting the Rams on the board had 15 points earlier this season in a meeting between the two.
And they do it in a different style, though. I mean, with that matchup zone and how they run their offense, they do things differently, but a lot of the ways they're effective are similar to VCU in terms of shutting down your opponent, frustrating your opponent, wearing them down.
The entry pass from Taylor sails over the head of Terry Allen.
Gotta value the basketball. We always say it against this VCU team. They're great at generating turnovers. We know that. Havoc, they're 7th in the nation turnover rate according to Ken Pomeroy. You cannot be lazy with the ball, and that's what Taylor was right there. He just didn't step to the pass, didn't really identify the target, just kind of lobbed it in there lackadaisically.
Here's Mo Alley Cox kicking it out. Terry Larrier going hard to the hole, and Trey Davis. Strong rebound for Richmond.
So you have to do against this Richmond defense is try to drive it through the gaps of that defensive finish at times.
TJ Klein, robust move inside, but misses on the hook.
He's a very skilled player, good in the pick and pop game, and good in his back to the basket, the transfer from Niagara.
Long three from straight away. That one rims out from Travion Graham. Graham, in the 2 meetings between these schools this season, had 25 and 18 points.
He put up big games, and he's going to need to do that again today. Shaka Smart said he put up 20 shots yesterday. We need Travion to get 20 more today to win this game.
Kendall Anthony on the miss, and VCU running. Mo Alley Cox, the hook rims out. Both teams starting a little cold from the field. Trey Davis, athletic move. Larrier underneath for the board. Richmond 1 of 5, VCU 1 for 6 from the field here in the early going. Travion Graham misses another for the Rams. They'll reset the offense. And they turn it over. JeQuan Lewis, his pass intended for Mo Alley Cox, out of bounds. Substitutions coming up for each ball club here.
And Melvin Johnson, we talked about him in the open, just checking in. He actually started all but 2 games this season. He came off the bench yesterday, came off the bench today again to give them a little something, a little change of pace, and something that the opponents need to be aware of. When he comes in the game, he can change it with his stroke.
VCU was really in a battle with Fordham yesterday. Game that really could have gone either way, even down the stretch. The fact that they pulled that out obviously counts for something, but you also wonder about playing the second of back-to-back days as this game wears on while Richmond had the bye.
And with their style, as we've talked about, they're going to get up and have it. They're going to play at 94 feet. Now, they are 25th in the country in terms of bench minutes played, so they do rotate a lot of guys, but back-to-back days is tough.
They threw it away. Third turnover as Josh Jones missed on the pass. Now another long three misses for VCU, tipped by Terry Allen. Kendall Anthony grabs control. And all alone underneath, Alonzo Nelson Ododa. And he's going to be fouled.
Good identification by Anthony to throw it up there. And Chris Mooney's upset, wondering why the foul was called. He wanted to get up there and finish and get the and one. But slow start here, 2-2. The rivalry renewed here in Brooklyn.
2-2, almost 5 minutes deep first half in the second of 4 quarterfinal round games of the A10 tournament here in Brooklyn on this Friday afternoon. Travion Graham, now 3rd all-time in scoring for VCU, went over 1,800 points in the regular season finale against George Mason.
Some NBA scouts in the building here checking out Graham. Talked to a scout from one of the Western Conference teams interested in Graham because his ability to be unique. You know, he's a big body, but he can score, put on the deck. He can knock down threes. You wonder how he can guard, though, at the next level. And we'll see it today, though, with that high ankle sprain. Shaka Smart told me the other day, he's not going to be healthy until he has a long time to rest. So he's not 100%, folks, but he's still capable of putting on quite a performance.
All A10 first team this season. Kendall Anthony. Soft touch.
Soft is right. A little push shot. Somehow gets it to just lay up on the rim there.
That's Jordan Burgess for a three.
Great job by Jonathan Williams to get in the teeth of defense and deliver that ball on time, on target, and Burgess buries it.
Was very quiet in the win over Fordham yesterday, but hits the first triple of the game here this afternoon. Terry Allen.
Spiders getting a lot of straight line drives. VCU's got a foot fake better, be in gaps better, helping recover. Because right now, Spiders are going right down Broadway.
Substitutions coming up for each team here as we come up on 6 minutes in. 1-point ball game. And this 4-5 matchup. The winner gets #1 seeded Davidson tomorrow in the semis. Justin Tillman laying it up and in.
Nice job at assessing the switch and the mismatch with Anthony on Tillman. He's given up almost a foot in height. You got to give him the rock.
Oh, good backdoor by Kendall Anthony. Nelson Ododa fed him, and it was an easy two.
Pete Carrilla's smiling somewhere right now. That was clinical.
Jonathan Williams trying to take Nelson Ododa off the dribble. He gets the basket and the foul.
Williams gave them some good minutes yesterday off the bench. Down the stretch, he made a couple big plays. Only had 4 points, but did things that didn't show up in the stat sheet. Today, he's doing things that are in the stat sheet. To the tin with the hoop and the harm before he had the assist to Burgess. Really helping. Remember, he's like the third string guy. JeQuan Lewis replaced Briante Weber. Tried to. I mean, they really can't just replace Weber, but he stepped into that starting role. And Williams' playing time has been elevated.
Williams, a very popular figure, a freshman from Richmond, Virginia, staying home to play college hoops, and part of a freshman class that's the highest rated in VCU history. Oh, but Larrier has the rebound for VCU. And another possession for the Rams. Harry Larrier spinning into TJ Klein, and he walked with it. As Williams now comes out of the game, JeQuan Lewis in for VCU.
Back for Richmond, number 11, Taylor.
Richmond has 3 turnovers already, but none against the pressure. They've all really been lazy turnovers in the half court. And again, live ball turnovers are where VCU can really feast. Dead ball turnovers aren't nearly as bad. You don't want them, but they're not as bad.
TJ Klein for a 3. Oh, how about that pinball?
When he let it go, I shook my head like, that's not going to go in, but it was like a lob wedge. Just hit it stuck.
Shooting 40% from three-point range. Doug Brooks can't hit the 3 on the other end. And here comes Kendall Anthony. Klein again for 3. Back-to-back triples.
VCU's transition defense has got to be a little better. The Spiders are getting the ball off the rim, and they are blowing it up the court and getting good early looks and early offense.
JeQuan Lewis open for a 3.
There's a fine line between being aggressive and settling. I think that was settling. You could get that shot against the Spiders anytime. Maybe work a little bit, get a touch in the high post, get Graham ball in the high post. We can turn and face up and go before you just settle for a 24-footer.
Kendall Anthony in the lane, and after a slow start for the Spiders, that's 6 consecutive made field goals and a timeout on the floor Under 12 to play in the first half, and Richmond their largest lead of the day. Male NBA coach used to take TJ along to all the games, all the practices. Even when she was working in TV, she had him in a playoff game one time between San Antonio and Dallas. Looked over during warm-ups. He was doing layups with the Spurs. She said, TJ, who said you could do this? And he said, Mr. Ginobili allowed me in. Jared Guess grabbing the loose ball. And a whistle. A foul on the Rams. 11:44 remaining in the first, and Richmond leading VCU here in the quarterfinal round. On Valentine's Day.
Now they've worked themselves back onto the bubble. They're in the bubble discussion. They're probably not the first four out, but the next four out with that 6-0 run. But it's losses like that to Mason that they can't have because Mason's RPI is low, drags them down. But if they make a run, so they get to the championship game of this tournament, it's possible, because they get Davidson with a high RPI, that they might work themselves into an at-large bid.
Last outing was the regular season finale when they beat St. Louis by 16. So they have some momentum coming to the tournament here in Brooklyn. Terry Larrier fires one up. Just a two.
He's going to be a good player, folks. He is really skilled. He's athletic. He's long. His body going to fill out a little bit as he gets stronger and develops more. But in this style, too, that they play, he's going to be really good.
Had 10 points yesterday in the win over Fordham. TJ Klein taking it inside. Tipped back up, and it's a VCU foul on the rebound.
I'll say it again. Well, I'll say it again in a second, because we're going to look at my man Terry Larrier, the freshman. Ball screen defense, not great. Klein kind of center fielded, backed off. When I say center field, he didn't really do anything, kind of just hedged, flat hedge, staying there. Didn't really affect Larrier's jumper either. He's got to be able to impact the play. Either hedge out or at least make him uncomfortable. He's going to take that jump shot. He's
a freshman from the Bronx and the highest recruit that Shaka Smart has ever had. Top rated.
And in terms of the numbers he's put up, he averaged just over 6 points a game this year, but as a freshman, only two other guys have done that. Legendary Brad Burgess, who had his jersey retired a couple weeks back, and Travion Graham. So that's pretty sweet company Larrier's in right now.
Five-point lead for the Spiders. Johnson tried to feed it down to Mo Alley Cox, and he was fouled.
You can actually see Shaka right now as he's motioning to guys, pass and cut, move, because that possession, they were actually all just standing there. Everybody was stuck on their spot. He wants you to pass, cut through that zone, look for the ball, get some more motion right now. And that's what he was talking about to us today and yesterday, about being aggressive, don't allow yourself to play on your heels.
Foul was on Alonzo Nelson Odota, his second, and he heads to the bench.
Odota fractured a orbital bone in his face about a month ago. This is his first game back. Talking to the staff, he said, we'll see how much he can give us. He's given some decent minutes early on.
He's missed the last 8 games until today. And it's out of bounds to the Spiders. Third turnover by VCU. And you see Alonzo Nelson Odota. So valuable, the junior from Atlanta. Preseason all A10 defensive team. A big force inside, blocking shots for them.
Chantre Jones had a big game, first game against these two teams. He had 22 off the bench, 6th man of the year in the conference. Really shoot it when he comes to the game, can change the complexion of the ball game.
Terry Allen driving, and it's a VCU foul. Travion Graham is going to get hit here.
Let's take a look and see what kind of call we have here as he steps over. Yeah, he looks like he's sliding a little bit. Better angle here. And that left foot is moving over. Good call, and that's big because that's his second. Second with 10:09 to play. Now, he is a senior. He's played a lot of minutes. You're Shaka Smart. You can feel pretty confident you can leave him in there and not pick up a third, but he's got to be smart.
TJ Klein, blocked by Mo Alley Cox.
That's a bad man.
Melvin Johnson for the three.
That's the type of ball they want to play. Suffocating defense, they get a block, it ignites it. Good transition look for your best shooter. That was almost over and back by Jones.
And Kendall Anthony is going to settle things down here. It's a 2-point game just over the midpoint of the first half.
That's a senior leader right there. Not force a bad position, pull it out, take some time.
Chandre Jones.
Great possession, great response by the Spiders.
Had 22 points in one of the earlier meetings between these two schools. Melvin Johnson, a deep three.
Melvin Johnson showing up. We talked about him in the open. He's going to have to knock down shots. Well, once he gets going, as he said to me yesterday, when I'm shooting with a clear head, I'm tough to stop. He's pretty clear right now. His ball's going down.
TJ Klein lost it. And VCU comes away. Travion Graham inside.
Great basketball IQ. Slips the screen. No weak side help there. And you can get some slips against this 2-3 matchup zone because they don't communicate the switches all the time.
Terry Allen on the other end.
Transition defense. I mean, the Spiders have done a great job of getting out and scoring before VCU's D is even set.
Remember, both teams started slow. They have picked up the pace here in the last several minutes. JeQuan Lewis this time. And Trey Davis, no question, is going to be called for the offensive foul on that one.
Yeah, shoulder down. He was almost cradling like a running back right there. Chris Mooney's upset, but I don't think you have much of an argument there.
DeMarco Murray's getting all that money. I can do it too.
See Lewis come off, take it, just that little look away, gets the defender to freeze just a second, kicks it to the corner. Now, you don't want to guard me. I'll put it up from NBA range off the jab step.
A guy who originally signed with Miami, very good long-range shooter. Had 10 points in the last meeting with Richmond. A one-point game with just over 8 to play here in the first half. Winner faces Davidson tomorrow in the semis. Shot clock at 8. Gotta hurry. Doug Brooks for a 3. Wow.
When Doug Brooks is knocking down contested 24-footers, you could be in trouble. Now, he shoots at 37% on the year. He's a good shooter, don't get me wrong, but that was a tough shot.
VCU 44% from beyond the arc right now. And a foul on Larrier.
VCU foul is number 22, Terry Larrier.
Neither team in the bonus as of yet, but VCU starting to click from downtown. Doug Brooks hits his first triple, and the Rams have the 2-point edge. You can pretty much pick your subway line, get off right in front of the Barclays Center for quarterfinal Friday in the A10 tournament, where VCU is hitting from downtown.
Yeah, this team has really struggled to shoot. We mentioned it already, 30% yesterday against Fordham, but the dam is broken. As Shaka Smart said, when it starts to rain, it'll come quickly. They've got 3 straight threes. They're starting 1 for 6. When this team knocks down triples against that 2-3 kind of switching zone, they're going to be really, really tough to guard.
Started 1 for 6 from 3-point range and have made their last 3 in a row. Now both teams with the measured, deliberate start, but now we're seeing 3-point shots go down. We're seeing transition baskets as well. These teams are running, really getting into the flow of this game as we're just over 7 minutes from halftime.
It's a rivalry game. You know, you're really geeked up to win this, and VCU, mind you, is coming off that extra day when they had to play a game. You know, Richmond's coming in here fresh, so they have a little bit of that advantage, but you don't see anything really translating that way yet. But we'll see when we get late in the game. That's when you really can notice.
Kendall Anthony kicking it out. Chandre Jones for 3.
Great pass by Kendall Anthony. Great vision. Looks like Scooney Penn back in the day, working the baseline, kicking it to his teammates.
Lead changes already here in this first half. Shot clock at 7. Doug Brooks. Everybody living in three-point land right now.
That was weird. Chandre Jones, for no reason, ran at the ball. They already had a guy on the ball. He ran at it, leaving Brooks wide open.
TJ Klein. He's got 2 3-point baskets in this first half.
Cookies.
And Kendall Anthony, 2-on-1 with Jones and Allen.
That's a textbook 3-on-1 right there. Drop to the trailer, but now you got to get back in transition. Great job by Chandre Jones.
He leads the break the other way. Klein underneath, and he missed the easy one.
It's the athleticism of VCU getting in your head right there. Klein could have shot faked. Brooks would have flown right by and made the layup.
Tied at 25, coming up on the final 5 here in the first half. VCU settling it down somewhat with both teams going up and down here in the last sequence.
That was a great couple minutes right there. That's a tempo VCU likes to play, though. Richmond can do it as well.
Chandre Jones wasn't even looking, got his hand on the ball. And the shot clock expiring for VCU.
And the Richmond faithful standing up saluting their team right now, because that's a heck of an effort defensively after a really helter-skelter couple possessions. When it slowed down, they got in the half court, they communicated well, got a big stop.
3 turnovers in a row by the Rams here. Now Michael Gilmore, the freshman from Jacksonville, Florida, is going to check in for the first time. 25 apiece. Both teams really shooting well now here in the last several minutes.
There's VCU backed up the last couple possessions. Didn't bring the Heat 94 feet. They're kind of just playing a straight man here. Mismatch. JeQuan Lewis on TJ Klein. They saw it too late.
Backdoor pass, but Deion Taylor could not find the handle. And Alonzo Nelson-Ododa wearing those goggles on the eyes for protective reasons, back in the game with 2 personal fouls. Again, his first game after missing the last 8 because of a broken bone around his eye. Oh, and a steal by Trey Davis.
He just read the passing lane, just sat there like a cornerback, ready to pick it off and take it to the house.
He took off from the Bronx and landed in Brooklyn on that dunk as well.
A man could get up.
And it's a foul on Richmond after the 4th consecutive turnover by VCU.
And Deion Taylor just kind of falling asleep at the wheel there, but see him just laying in the weeds there. There's no pass that's automatic. Gilmore just caught it and threw it. And Davis threw it down.
A Richmond native, a junior. Now both teams still with a couple of fouls to give here late in this first half. 4:22 remaining and a 2-point Spider lead.
Ref's just trying to clarify who the foul was on there.
And Deion Taylor assessed for Richmond.
Travion Graham's been quiet to this point. 1 for 6, 2 points. He needs to be aggressive too. Continue to look for his shot. Looks great for himself and his teammates.
JeQuan Lewis. Trey Davis running again. Kendall Anthony on the reverse.
I mean, they're dominating this game in transition right now. They're getting any shot they want in early offense. VCU's got to be able to get back, communicate, and stop them.
Melvin Johnson buries the 3.
He's the great equalizer in college hoops, and he is really feeling it right now.
Leads all scores with 9 points. Here's Chandre Jones. Kicking it out, but losing it. Doug Brooks coming away.
Mooney wants a foul, but that was all ball. If anything, that would have been a jump, but he's got to be more fundamentally sound. Jump stop, pivot, pass it. Don't leave your feet.
JeQuan Lewis, and he traveled. Just over 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. The lead changing hands several times, but at the moment, it's the Spiders by 1. On the way at the half, Dave Briggs and Ron Thompson are back in the studio. They'll talk about Kentucky still in pursuit of the perfect season, but also the quarterfinal classic we had here in our first game. Somehow, some way, #1 seed Davidson pulled it out over LaSalle.
And you feel so bad for LaSalle. They deserve to win that game. They're up 66-60 with 1:20 to go, and there was a 6-point possession on an and-one 3 after an and-one 2. Unfortunate they could not hold on because I think they deserve that win, but Davidson survives in advance. That's what tournament play is all about, just staying alive.
And they will meet the winner of this game tomorrow in the semifinal round, VCU against Richmond.
And VCU's got to take care of the ball. You know, last 7 trips they've had 5 turnovers. They've started to knock down threes, but they can't turn the ball over. We always talk about them forcing turnovers. They're 7th in the nation in turnover rate, but they're also 7th in the nation in turnover rate in terms of offense, in terms of minimizing their own turnovers.
Kendall Anthony driving, trying to find TJ Klein. It stays with the Spiders, and let's go over to Carolyn.
Yeah, and Steven Dallin Smart really trying to coach his team up in terms of how to battle the transition on the last time out, and also saying, guys, we don't need to hit a home run every time offensively. Let's pass the ball. Let's get a bucket.
And the transition defense is killing them right now. They have 8 straight fast break points, but points in transition, you probably would say they probably have 20 or 29 or 31 now in transition.
That's TJ Klein. He's got 8 points. 3 different Spiders now with 8 on the game. Melvin Johnson unconscious out high.
That was from Long Island. Montauk area.
And VCU has made 6 consecutive 3-point shots, as that's a foul on the Rams. It's going to be JeQuan Lewis.
Smart play by Anthony, but tough call. But I mean, you're going to have to close. I was going to communicate the switch, though, because again, there was kind of a little rub, but you saw both guys point. Anthony should have jumped out there quicker. Well, you don't think he's going to shoot it from 25, but that was a heat check. He's starting to feel it.
He's 4 of 5 from 3-point range, leads all scorers with 12 points, the only player in double figures right now. And the refs have gone over to the monitor to check out something here. The officials conferring.
They're definitely not questioning if that was a 3 or not. I know that much. He was about 8 feet behind the arc.
They're apparently looking for an elbow that may have been thrown. And we'll get the explanation here momentarily as the officials come over.
Kenny Clark's going to come tell us.
So they're checking for a possible flagrant foul. And a flagrant one, which obviously does not carry the penalty of ejection, just free throws and possession.
Well, you wouldn't think unless we missed something malicious, but I think you would have seen it if it was ever malicious.
Well, nothing there.
I don't know what they're looking at. If that's in fact the play. This is one thing with the reviews. We got to find a way to get through them quicker, because this really does bog down the game, and it's been a great game after the first 4 minutes. Yeah, Allen, are they talking about? I don't know what to tell you.
Mo Alley Cox and Terry Allen would be the only 2, but that's minimal.
Yeah, and if just seeing that, we should be back into play right now. They should be back on the court rolling.
Doesn't look like there's anything there to begin with.
Yeah. And this is, the feed is exactly what the officials are looking at from this.
And nobody else is even close to each other on the floor. It's just those 2 players.
Oh,
maybe there.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, but again, he's putting his arm up.
So it's TJ Klein that they apparently were checking out.
Everybody clap your hands.
And they're going to say that there is no call. So that's the official decision.
Which is good. I'm glad we at least got to the play. We got to what they were initially seeing, but even that, wasn't much.
Well, the teams can catch their collective breaths. Tied at 31, with just over 2 to play here, and a pretty entertaining first half.
Yeah, minus that first 4 minutes where it was 2-2. Since then, these guys have gotten up and down. They've made big triples. They've played hard, competed, and you expect nothing else in a rivalry game like this, especially one that VCU's yet to win this year. They don't want to get swept for sure.
Kendall Anthony lining up a 3.
Defensive breakdown by VCU. No communication. He's left the ball. Anthony wide open.
He had 13 and 22 points in each of the 2 games with VCU this season. He's got 11 so far here today. And a steal by Anthony. Jordan Burgess coming back to try and block, but Anthony guards the ball and lays it in.
He is such a smart player. First anticipation to get the steal, and then people always say when you're little, how do you play basketball? He's been little his whole life. He knows how to get the shot up, and there he used his body, as you said, shielded away the defender, finished with his left hand.
He's the only Spider in double figures with 13 now. JeQuan Lewis against TJ Klein, and we're going to get a foul.
Good recognition by Lewis on the mismatch there, but here's Kendall Anthony. You can't see it. JeQuan Lewis basically just left Anthony. He followed the other Richmond player to the corner. You see Morley Cox picked off Kendall Anthony going the other way. Using his body, smart play, laying up with left.
Still neither team in the bonus as we approach a minute to play in the first half, and Melvin Johnson. Who does that surprise? He buries another one from 3.
Dam has broken, as Shaka said, for Johnson. They've got to contest harder. They've got to be on him. When he catches, they have to close out on the 26 feet. I know they don't like doing that in their defense. I know they want to stay compact, but he's dialed in right now, and those are 2 easy looks for him.
All of his 15 points have come from 3-point range. Deion Taylor driving, but blocked. Under a minute to go here in the first half. JeQuan Lewis had it picked from behind. Now Chandre Jones. Gives to Trey Davis, misses. Allen the follow, he couldn't convert.
And Allen wanted the dunk, that's why he couldn't just catch it and finish.
Transition 3 from Larrier. But a whistle and a foul on Deion Taylor on the shot.
Potential big swing right there. This could be a 5-point swing. Richmond should have got at least a 2-pointer, if not a dunk that really would have brought the crowd down here, but check out the foul. Tough to see from that angle, but you did see Larrier. We were right down the sideline where we're sitting, so you could just see Larrier hit the deck.
His first free throws of the day now coming up. Had 10 yesterday, and now only his 3rd point so far here this afternoon. Chance to give them the lead in the dying seconds of the first half.
It's always critical how you start and finish halves, and this could have been a 5-point swing that shifts the momentum as you head into break. We'll see if Larrier can convert, and maybe Richmond can steal it back with a big play down the other end.
Not unlike some of the swings we saw yesterday in VCU's win over Fordham.
Yeah, that game was up and down as it gets.
And a timeout taken by Richmond. The VCU crowd comes to their feet here at the Barclays Center. The Rams back in front with 23 seconds to go in the half.
What's the matter, George?
I forgot to renew my car insurance.
Yeah, about a year ago.
Well, now I can't find a decent rate.
Sounds like George has the auto insurance blues.
Here, get a quote from the general. Their down payment and monthly payments are low, and they got special discounts.
Dave Briggs and Ron Thompson standing by in the studio for the halftime report. Can Kentucky run the table? It's the question everyone in college basketball has been asking all season long. I know you said yesterday you don't think they're going to do it. On the other hand, I happen to believe that there has not been a team in a long time that presents the sorts of matchup problems that Kentucky does for almost every team they would play in the NCAA tournament. There's almost no weakness that you can exploit.
Well, the one thing they don't do that well is shoot the ball from the outside. So if you get them to take contested twos, you kind of won the battle. And if you have guys bigs that can step away from the basket, you can invert your offense and you can make their big step away and score. You can create some driving lanes. You can play at a slower pace. Those are all things Wisconsin can do. Those are things UVA can do. So with the healthy Justin Anderson, we will see, my friend. We will see.
Inverted offense, I don't know. Final seconds of the first half here. Chandre Jones kicks it out. Terry Allen throws it up, and he gets the foul.
Fortunate. That was an ugly possession. Ball was all over the place, but they end up getting lucky to step to the line now. A chance to take the lead heads into break.
Mo Alley Cox, his first personal.
Chandre Jones and Kendall Anthony are so tough to guard, but they're just so little. They find the little cracks and crevices. They have great change of pace. They've got great vision. And they can knock down shots.
Oh, Terry Allen with 2 free throws, his first of the day. And Deion Taylor as well as Josh Jones coming in for these final seconds for Richmond. Travion Graham and JeQuan Lewis also coming in from VCU. Missed them both. Travion Graham at the buzzer. VCU on quite a run at the end of the first half. They've made 9 of their last 11 shots and hit 7 of 7 from three-point range.
And Melvin Johnson, is to thank for a lot of that. He had 5 threes, but they are really shooting the ball well, and we have not seen this from them in weeks.
Let's send you over to Carolyn.
Hey guys, here with Shaka Smart. Shaka, what's your assessment of your play in the first half?
Well, I thought we played with good energy. We got to take care of the basketball. Richmond did a really good job jumping in passing lanes. I think if we can cut down turnovers and be a little bit smarter on our defensive end, we'll put ourselves in great position.
Where do improvements need to be made specifically in terms of transition?
Transition defense or offense?
Defense.
Well, it starts with not turning the ball over. If we give them the ball in a live ball situation, then they're able to break out a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2. So we got to do a better job there.
All right, thanks, Shaka. Steve?
The winner gets Davidson tomorrow in the semifinals. And after 20 here at the Barclays Center, VCU leads Richmond by 1. And now we send you to the college basketball halftime report. VCU eliminated Richmond in the quarterfinals of the A10 tournament last year here at the Barclays Center, and they lead by 1 this afternoon in the rematch. Steve Schlanger, Dallin Kopp, halftime here in Brooklyn. And at the top of the show, we talked about VCU's guard, Melvin Johnson, how he could have an impact on this game. And boy, has he delivered. All of his 15 points coming from three-point range.
Yeah, he had the opportunity coming off the bench to change this game, and he did just that. 5 for 6 from deep. Last night, he was 4 for 7. So he's really even improved on a solid day shooting yesterday. He talks about shooting with a clear head. He's doing that right now, focused on nothing but knocking it down, and he's doing it from NBA range consistently. Spiders have to adjust to him and start contesting earlier, not even let him get the shot up.
Well, what do the Spiders do? For more on Richmond's strategy, let's send you over to Carolyn, who is going to be joined by head coach Chris Mooney.
Well, Coach, they've had some shots fall from 3. What adjustments will you make in the second half?
Well, they've shot really well, and there's a couple of guys who haven't been shooting as well lately. So I think we have to be closer to their shooters, understand that their movement on offense is getting guys open, and just trying to be a little bit closer on our closeout. Are the adjustments there to make, or is it also just the fact that their shots are falling? Well, that's part of it, you know, and for us, though, we need to make them not make so many shots or not at a great rate. So part of it is they're going to make shots because they're good players. Part of it is we hope we can do something about it.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
Both teams shooting over 60% from three-point land. And remember, this was a game that was tied at 2 apiece after the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, they were 2 for 13 combined after 5 minutes. Since then, they both have shot lights out. 66.7% for Richmond from 3, 61.5% overall. Really getting a lot of shots they want, particularly, though, in transition, as we talked about before we went to the break.
Doug Brooks, the floater in the lane. TJ Klein scrambling for the rebound. Out of bounds, and it stays with the Rams. Good hustle by Brooks after the missed shot.
It's a good move by him, first and foremost, to get a shot off and then to stay with it, not hang your head when you miss the shot. That's good stuff.
What are your keys going to be here in this second 20?
I think it's how VCU handles the ball. We always talk about them forcing turnovers, but they have 10 already, and that's out of character for them. Again, 7th in the nation in terms of turnover rate, according to Ken Pomeroy. And that guy right there, Travion Graham, has to have his imprint on this game. He has to be confident. He has to be aggressive and go make plays. For the Spiders, they got to continue to handle the pressure, which they've done very well. And they need to continue to, in transition, get out and run off misses and continue to push this ball and put VCU on their heels.
Travion Graham only with 2 field goals here in this game. Kendall Anthony with 9 on the shot clock and a whistle. We're going to get a foul on VCU. JeQuan Lewis is first.
I'm talking to Shaka Smart about Lewis as you see that Graham making a nice floater there. Talking to him about Graham and about Lewis and replacing Briante Weber. He said, I'm hard in that position. He was a former point guard. That's what Shaka does. It's what Shaka's passionate about. What he did. And he expects a lot from those guys. And Lewis has 4 turnovers already on the day. He's got to be more sound with the rock.
Terry Allen almost threw it away. Deion Taylor saves him. Allen gets it back and kicks it out. Shot clock at 15 now as Trey Davis misses, but Taylor is there for a strong putback.
Great job by Taylor to stay with it and really threw a little bit of contact, finish with the tip it.
And a turnover. Here's Kendall Anthony leading a 2-on-1. Gives it off. Trey Davis, the basket and the foul.
Smart basketball player Kendall Anthony is. He can push the ball until the defender finally committed to him. He made the defender commit to him. Nice job. Larry tracing it down now. Larry being a little bit of a freshman here. If you're going to foul him, you've got to ensure he does not make that layup too.
Now there are Trey Davis's parents, including John Davis there on the left, the Hall of Famer for Richmond back in the early 80s. Watching their son here at the Barclays Center this afternoon.
I think his mom, a little mojo there, is the free throw. And eyes closed, doing a little praying maybe?
She's been animated the whole game.
She has been fun to watch.
And that's going to be a foul on Deion Taylor. Chandre Jones and Alonzo Nelson-Ododa, they're back in the game. Terry Allen and TJ Klein head to the bench.
Yeah, Chandre Jones, I think, has to stay in this game as much as possible. He really causes some problems for VCU because he can knock down shots. He's another creator, takes some pressure off of Anthony.
Deion Taylor with 3 personal fouls. He is the first player in the game to reach 3 fouls. JeQuan Lewis, a little up and under. He'll go to the rebound. Trey Davis again, inside, fadeaway. And Doug Brooks open for a 3. Graham had a chance at an offensive rebound, but just overshot it. Now Chandre Jones falling down in the lane, gets the shot and the foul at the same time.
He is crafty, good use of his body, maintains staying on balance, and check out his eyes. Looks up, identifies the rim, keeps his head focused on it, gets the contact, gets the layup, and one big play.
The 6th man of the year in the A10, averaging in double figures all season long. Dad played college basketball at Virginia. Leading this team in free throw shooting this season, and now at the line for the completion of the 3-point play. Travion Graham blocked by Alonzo Nelson-Ododa. but they're going to get him on the foul.
Like that, again, assertiveness, aggressiveness by Graham. You got the reversal right down the lane line, going to attack Nelson Adota. He's missed the last 8 games. You know, you got a little bit of rust on him. Bad matchup to begin with. So when you see him on him, go at him.
You know, Travion Graham to the free throw line. First time at the stripe today for Graham. You surprised he hasn't had more of an impact on this game?
He hasn't shot it well. I mean, to be pretty frank about it, he's 1 for 6 in the first half. But I think you can't force at the same time. You have to be aggressive without forcing. And I think he's really tried to assert himself in the start of the second half, which is good. He's taking good looks, made that little floater, got himself to the line. I'll get you in the rhythm of the game a bit.
Still bothered by that bad ankle. Doesn't look like it affects him too much, but as head coach Shaka Smart has told us, it's not going to be 100% till the end of the season.
Melvin Johnson's without a shoe right now. His left shoe is in the middle of the court.
He's playing with 1 kick. Nelson Adota picked by Johnson from behind, out of bounds, and now he recovers the left shoe. Nobody turns into a pumpkin, and we play on.
That was a great play by him, man. 1 shoe, able to poke it out from behind so you don't lose the possession and give up an easy basket. He's able to get his shoe and stay in the game.
He really wanted that shoe.
That's a little flat tire right there by Chandre Jones on him.
Not exactly like a broken hockey stick where you go over and you get another one from your teammate on the sideline as the play continues. Kendall Anthony running and hitting.
He has such an array of different shots and ways to finish, and that was a floater off the wrong foot with his right hand within the trees.
He's got 15 to tie Johnson as the game-high scorer now. Oh, Jonathan Williams spinning, looking for Mo Alley Cox, who lost it out of bounds. Would have been a tremendous assist had it worked out.
And here's Anthony just going one-on-one pretty much right past Jordan Burgess. Floater. VCU's 9 losses, according to Ken Pomeroy. 6 of them, they've failed to have a turnover rate higher than 20%. Every one of their wins is higher than 20%. Right now, they've got Richmond at 8 turnovers, but so few of them are live. They're not creating any offense off their defense right now, and they can struggle to score at times. We've seen when that happens.
Here's Anthony, taking it out for Adota. Oh, that's going to be a foul on VCU. So Richmond in the middle of a run here, early second half. They lead the Rams by 4. 44-40 here at the Barclays Center, and Kendall Anthony leading the way for the Spiders, 7 of 8 from the field.
He's done it all year, but his ability to be effective on both ends of the court, getting steals. He's got 3 steals on the game already. Should be 4 steals in the game already. 5 assists. He's creating for himself. He's creating for his teammates. We see the multitude of his skills, making open shots, finishing in the lane, and he's led them all year long. It is so hard to be geared for the entire defense to be geared to stop one guy and to break through that over and over again. It's so difficult, but he has really stepped up today and efficiently 7 for 8.
And with his 15 points, he now has an even 100 double-digit games for his career at Richmond. Has also moved into 4th in the school's all-time scoring list with his 15 points here today against VCU. TJ Klein on the spin move. Barely had time to see the hoop, but he banked it in.
Great feel for where he's at in the court. Awkward looking move, but sometimes he just kind of gets it done.
Shot clock under 10 now for Johnson. On the miss, Chandre Jones couldn't get the rebound, but the Spiders come away nonetheless. Now the VCU crowd wanted to travel, so did Shaka Smart, but instead the Spiders will recycle the half-court offense here. A lead of 6. Shot clock at 9. Chandre Jones just now recognizes the shot clock is at 2, throws it up. And the rebound to Jordan Burgess for VCU. Melvin Johnson trying to create his own shot, coming up short.
Slow start for the Rams, 1 for 5 from the field early in the second half.
And substitutions now coming up for each team. And a whistle, a foul on VCU. That's Jonathan Williams and his second. Already the 5th team foul for VCU now here in the second half. Doug Brooks and Terry Larrier checking in for the Rams. And Mo Alley Cox also coming in to give them a big body inside.
Also, Dota's got a mismatch with Lewis for a while, but he didn't tell anybody. Didn't ask for the ball, want the ball.
Nelson Odota wide open in the corner, misses the 3, but rebounded underneath by Allen, who takes it back up and in.
Big play by Terry Allen. 1-on-2, he just outworked the Rams defenders. He wanted it more, got it, finished.
Timeout VCU. Richmond building their lead to 8 here with 13.5 left to go. Biggest lead of the day for Richmond, 8 points over VCU. Yesterday, Travion Graham had 22 in the second-round win over Fordham, but quiet so far today.
Yeah, and part of the first half, he didn't shoot it well. He didn't get going very well. He was 1 for 6 in the first half. He started to, assert himself in the second half, as we said, but he needs to be a big part of this team. This is where you miss Briante Weber a little bit, because you miss his leadership. You miss what he can create in the defensive end in terms of turnovers and leading to offense. They need Graham to bring them together, galvanize them. He needs to start scoring, yes, but also just being more vocal, bringing these guys together and elevating their level of play.
Now for more on the vibe of the VCU team right now, let's go over to Carolyn.
Yeah, hey guys, Shaka Smart is really preaching to his team. They need to be the aggressor right now. And that was one of the keys to the game that he told us coming in. He said, we have to be more aggressive. And he just looked at his guys and basically said, hey, listen, if you guys aren't going to fight for this, forget about it. He's urging them to pick up the energy and be more aggressive.
They have only 1 point in the last 6 minutes.
We talk about how they need to force turnovers. Richmond hasn't turned it over in nearly 10 minutes now.
JeQuan Lewis taking it all the way.
That was a really smart play by Lewis. Good shot. They got 2 defenders in the air. Then went right down Broadway and finished. Instead of pulling up, got to the lane and got a layup.
Richmond handling the pressure by VCU. Kendall Anthony looking to finish. Didn't get the bounce that time. Doug Brooks pulls up. Can't hit. Richmond by 6, looking to sweep the season series with VCU. They've already won twice. Now looking to go 3 in a row here today to move on to the semis of the A10 tournament.
It'd be huge for Richmond. Again, they're on the bubble, outside looking in for sure right now. Great take by Kendall Anthony. But if they can get this win, this is a high RPI win, I believe, probably top 25. You look at most services. Now you look at Davidson, that's a top 50 RPI win. That's great.
Kendall Anthony leading all scorers with 17. JeQuan Lewis can't get that one to fall, and Body's hitting the deck on the rebound. And we're going to get a traveling violation.
You gotta hope Lewis is okay, because he took the brunt of that right now. And Adota, too, just in the bottom of the melee.
Terry Allen coming down, and he's the one that the traveling will be called on, so VCU will have possession. JeQuan Lewis kind of walk it off as he heads to the bench. It's a tough way to get a traveling call, isn't it?
Yeah.
He came down on top of somebody and essentially rolled off the top of him.
It's unfortunate, because you worked hard to get it. You took a big hit. You turned it all over. To Carolyn's point, that VCU bench is pretty lifeless right now. The guys are real quiet, not a lot of clapping, not a lot of talking.
This is a team that, for all of their accolades, has never won an A10 tournament title.
That's bad offensive possession. There were 3 Rams that did not move the entire possession. It was Graham and Brooks pretty much just playing with the ball at the top of the key. You've got to move through this defense. Again, that's what he's talking about, the aggressor. This switching 2-3, matchup 2-3, whatever we'll call it, gets you to kind of just lull you to sleep. You end up standing around because you don't have many openings. You got to cut through. You can find openings.
Chandre Jones had it poked away from behind. Now Johnson trying to finish the job.
Huge, absolutely huge for them. They needed that. That could have put this game to a 10-point lead right there, maybe even 11, and you get a turnover going the other way. An easy basket. Nothing's been easy against Richmond today.
We go south of 11 minutes now left to play. The lead is half a dozen, and a timeout taken by the Spiders. This was Johnson getting it away from Chandre Jones. Then he gets paid back with the basket on the other end.
And you saw him do the back tap too, and he lost his shoe. And that was actually a really big play to save a possession. Here he gets the clean back tap that keeps the balls in live play. Able to be the recipient for 2 much needed points right now, because Richmond's making everything difficult. And that's like the way they like to play. They want to make it tough for their opponent and wear you down. And they're doing that to VCU right now. VCU is not wearing down the Spiders with their havoc defense right now.
The NHL Game of the Week is on NBC Sunday at noon. The Red Wings take on the Penguins, and then the hockey action continues on NBCSN at 7 Eastern with Boston facing Washington. But in the middle of a buffet of college basketball, 4 second-round games at the A10 tournament yesterday. This is the second of 4 quarterfinal round games here today.
I mean, there's no better month in the year than March. It's just great. Non-stop hoops. Championship week, great tournament time.
TJ Klein off the interior pass. And Graham running.
Moody wanted a foul big right there. I think he had a gripe. I think there was a lot of contact on TJ Klein's back.
Mo Alley Cox. Jonathan Williams. Alley Cox, the offensive rebound.
It's a strong man right there, just ripping it down, getting guys out of the way and finishing.
Terry Allen running, got caught in midair. Chandre Jones bailed him out.
That was fortunate. He was out of control, to say the least.
Halfway through our second 20, and it's a 4-point game. Anthony getting it blocked out of bounds. And it belongs to VCU.
Hit him in the head. Anthony's looking around confused. Not to be confused with that, because VCU ball going the other way. Mo Alley Cox shows why he's a big-time center, but could be a tight end, too. That kid is strong. And Anthony the other way gets the block, and check it out. Off his dome, VCU's rock. Down 4, building momentum, start to shift.
Both games between these teams in the regular season were decided by single digits, and we've spent this entire game this afternoon within those confines. No one has led by double digits here today. It's a 4-point game right now. The winner moving on to face Davidson tomorrow in the semis.
Steve, Richmond had an opportunity. Up 8, 11 minutes ago. Melvin Johnson back taps it, ends up getting a transition layup. Now they cut it to 4. They've got the ball. There's a lot of black and gold in this building, starting to really get up. That was a critical part of the game. It could have been 10 or 11 if Richmond didn't turn it over.
Just inside of 10 minutes now remaining. Ravion Graham, and he gets the foul, and then we'll head to the free throw line.
I like that. They turn and face, 16, 17 feet out. Let him try to operate and just try to get something, go one-on-one, maybe draw the defense and kick it out. They need more points in the paint. They had 14 points in the paint total. Richmond's 14 points this half, all coming in the paint. They're getting to the teeth of the defense, off the bounce, off the pass, and finishing, and VCU just isn't.
Trey Davis with his second personal foul. And now Chandre Jones as well as TJ Klein are back in the game for Deion Taylor and Alonzo Nelson of Dota. Travion Graham, again, as we pointed out, had 22 points in the win yesterday. In the 2 meetings with Richmond this year, had 25 and 18 apiece. But today, only 6 here in the second half. To shoot. Kendall Anthony swings it over to Chandre Jones. Now TJ Klein gets his own rebound and taps it up and in.
They really can play with great poise. They were pressured about right to half court. VCU was up in them. They made that possession tough, but the extra pass by Jones giving Klein a good look and finish it.
Melvin Johnson hot from 3 in the first half, misses there. Chandre Jones, off-balance jumper, and on the rebound, it's tied up. And the arrow favors Richmond. All of the Spiders bench wanted the foul.
How about the little fella battling? Chandre Jones misses his own shot, and Graham doesn't really pursue it hard. Jones gets inside him, is able to tie it up and retain possession. Graham's got to go up there, get it at its highest point, and rip it down.
Forces him into the somersault there. Well, Richmond does keep possession.
Mismatch again. Allen realized it with JeQuan Lewis on him. But Larrier's length kept it out of the post there.
And a pass from Trey Davis over Terry Allen, but it's a VCU foul.
It's one of the few times they recognized the mismatch and they were able to put Lewis in jail down there.
And for JeQuan Lewis, that's his 4th personal foul.
And he's been unable to really get into this game, battling foul trouble all game. He's got 4 turnovers, 4 fouls.
Jonathan Williams takes his place. Chandre Jones again, that time ill-advised. Melvin Johnson.
Jumper so smooth, so pure. Great shot fake, one dribble pull-up textbook.
He leads all VCU players with 19 points, but that was only his 2nd from 2-point range. Kendall Anthony on the drive.
Got it once in each half. Pete Carrill again, smiling down some of the legendary Princeton coach. Somewhere around, big grin. Great pass, good cut, good finish.
Travion Graham, 4-3. Mo Alley Cox had the rebound for a second, then Chandre Jones grabbed it, but he was standing on the end line. So it'll be VCU basketball. 7.5 to go here in the second. TJ Klein, backdoor to Kendall Anthony, tied for game-high honors. Anthony now with 19 points.
But this is a classic one. Quick hitter, pass, back cut on the freshman Williams. He turns his head, doesn't jump to the ball. On the freshman Larrier, that's what Pete Carrill does. That's what he based his offense on, making those kind of cuts, smart plays. And Chris Mooney, a great point guard for him back in the early 90s. Obviously employs his mentor's system. He coached there for a bit afterwards, and they always found ways to match up and take advantage of freshmen, because freshmen just aren't used to what's going to happen there when you're playing a lot of the Princeton concepts, and always get 6 to 10 points easy a game off of plays like that.
Mooney was a 1,000-point scorer at Princeton back in his day. And for Richmond, all 18 of their points in this half in the paint. Dominating VCU in that regard. But as we saw in the first game, statistics and the numbers can all lead you to one conclusion, and then all of a sudden you can get a drastically different result at the very end.
Yeah, you couldn't be more right with that. That first game, LaSalle, again, deserved to win the game. There's no way to say it. But in the end, it didn't work out for them, unfortunately. And that's heartbreaking for those kids. But Davidson soldiers on, since 5 in advance is all about in tournament play.
Winner here gets the Wildcats tomorrow as Travion Graham is fouled in the lane.
I'd like to see Graham jump stop there, shot fake, maybe rip it across his body, finish, jump stop, draw 2, drop it off for a layup or a dunk. He leaves his feet a lot when he hits the lane, almost predetermined, and I'm going up. And he kind of got bailed out there by the official.
That's the second personal on Terry Allen, and Graham at the free throw line for 2. 3 of 4 from the stripe here today. A chance to bring them to within 2 now as we come up on the final 7 minutes. Travion Graham, not his best shooting day here, but contributions from other Rams have kept this a tight ball game here as we head down the stretch.
But it's going to come back to what we talked about in the open. We've talked about shot guys. You got to make shots, and they're shooting 31% in the second half. They're going to have to make some outside jumpers and make some plays to win this game.
Terry Allen inside, and Mo Ali Cox gets the rebound. It out. And they'll have to set up the half-court offense once again with the shot clock now down into single digits. Melvin Johnson pulling up. I think Chandre Jones got a piece of that from behind. And it's out of bounds to Richmond.
Shaka wants a foul first and foremost. It does look like he got a piece of it from behind. I mean, that's a good shooter. I can't imagine him missing that clean. Chandre Jones is a little shaken up, seeing him limping right now at the bottom of your screen. They're going to need him, again, to take pressure off of Anthony, handle the ball, and make plays.
That's Terry Allen from the corner. And the rebound by Larrier going over Kendall Anthony. Huge mismatch on that. VCU a chance to tie or take the lead. Jonathan Williams is going to be fouled. TJ Klein will be assessed here.
Chris really beside himself right now. I thought Klein did a good job of switching right there and staying in front of Williams. I think it's a tough call.
Second on Klein.
That's their fifth foul for Richmond now. They get, VCU gets the foul into the bonus. That could help them. Problem is they only shoot 64% for free throw line. It's not great. But they need some offense from anywhere right now.
Gonna get it from Williams, who tries. An off-balance shot.
So many of their shots contested by 1 or 2 spiders all the time. Very difficult.
Here's Trey Davis spinning inside. What a move.
Ready. Strong take, good read, good spin move, and great finish.
Timeout Spiders.
Freshman Terry Larrier made to look a little foolish right there.
Trey Davis again. His father, the Hall of Famer at Richmond in the early 80s, along with his mom, who went to school at Richmond, both in the crowd at the Barclays Center watching Trey this afternoon. He now has 6 points on the game and a 4-point lead with just over 5 to play as the Spiders look for their 3rd win of the season over VCU. Again, this was the end of our first quarterfinal game of the day. Tyler Kalinowski of Davidson at the buzzer, driving and hitting. Davidson somehow surviving.
They were down 6 with 1:20 to go and had a 6-point possession. They had one 2-pointer. They missed the 3. Bury the 3. Missed the free throw. Excuse me. Bury the 3 and 1 for a 4-point play. It actually was tied.
Outside of that game-winning shot and the end of the game itself, Davidson only led for 18 seconds the rest of the game.
And what a brutal way to end your season if you're LaSalle. And did not deserve it of that at all. They should have, again, they should have won the game. They outplayed them. But that's not what it's about. You got to finish the game, and they just couldn't finish the game. And Steve Zach and his swan song in an Explorers uniform going up a big-time double-double.
Well, Dallin, you just never know what's going to happen on Friday the 13th.
It's the 13th?
It is indeed.
Clearly, I'm really locked in right now.
Crazy finishes.
Very locked in.
You never know what's going to happen. As long as a guy with a chainsaw doesn't come out of the crowd, I think we're okay. We're just 2 days away from the Ides of March, so
okay. Yeah, all types of stuff happening here.
A lot goes in to the formula for deciding these tournament games. What's going to be the difference here?
I think it's a matter of, can VCU get some good opportunities to basket? Again, everything's contested, so few points in the paint. Their looks are very tough. Well, you know, Richmond's getting the looks they want. Richmond's in control of this ballgame right now. Somehow they're only up 4.
Melvin Johnson. Gone cold from 3, but Mo Cox has the offensive rebound, but he lost it out of bounds.
It's unfortunate for him because he's working hard down there, and they need some of that extra opportunities at the basket. Yesterday, and they outlasted Fordham, as you said in the open. They had 20 offensive rebounds. They shot 30%, and they got 20 offensive boards. That's what allowed them to even win that game.
We dip under 5 to play. Into Klein, who got position, but out of bounds to VCU.
That was a great play design, too. Loved it. They kind of double screen away to distract you as a decoy, so all the offense is lifted above the free throw line. Then Klein's one-on-one, and they're going to front, so he can go over the top. They call him on the push-off, but tough call, and I don't think he needed to even push up, but I think that's a really, really ticky-tack call.
Yeah, so they do get Klein on the foul instead. His 3rd, he's out of the game. Melvin Johnson open for 3 because Deion Taylor fell down.
A lot of times they say don't take yourself to trouble. Johnson just did it. Whenever Taylor fell down, he had an open 3 with his feet set. He dribbled and created a step-back situation, much harder shot.
Now Mo Cox diving to get that one. Now JeQuan Lewis comes in. Nelson Odota fighting for it and calls timeout. And they give it to him.
Good effort by Lewis, and Odota has got a better awareness. He was like creeping over the ball like an old man, bending over to pick it up, and Lewis is just stalking him like a lion waiting to dive between his legs, and he did it. Almost came away with the ball.
It's like a fumble. You got to get on the rock.
Got to get on the ball, man.
Just over 4 now left to play.
But that can give you a little lift if you're saying VCU right now. Just the hustle by Lewis, the effort. You see that. He's laying it out there. And they need to make some of those plays. 50-50 balls, turnovers, a couple deflections. They've got to find a way to generate some offense through their defense right now.
One of the differences as well here recently, VCU not shooting well from 3-point range. 0 for their last 6, as once again the winner faces #1 Davidson tomorrow in the first semifinal game. We still have 2 more quarters coming up later today. Dayton St. Bonaventure and GW against Rhode Island.
And Rhode Island, another one of those teams that's chasing an at-large bid. I think Dayton's in for sure. I do, URI is out right now. They would have to get to the finals and beat. They would hope like VCU or Davidson get there just because the RPI would be high and it would be a good RPI win because right now they're on the outside looking in.
4 to play. Kendall Anthony, strong move to the hole.
Are you kidding me? 5'8", past the Travion Graham's hands, lefty finishing.
21 points, lead all scores. JeQuan Lewis finally breaking the 3-point drought.
Not staying aggressive. Jab step. Defender gave him room. He had the jumper. He took it, buried it.
Kendall Anthony again, this time pulling up. He's hitting from all over.
And he is hyped, screaming to his teammates, pounding his chest. He's ready to play, but now they got to get a stop. What a move again.
He's 11 of 14 from the field. JeQuan Lewis on the miss, but Mo Alley Cox, weak side offensive rebound and a putback.
Allen's got to rotate and get Cox out of there. Don't worry about contesting the ball. Get Cox off the glass.
TJ Klein tried to find a cutting Trey Davis. Out of bounds off VCU.
That was close. That was almost a turnover, but this big-time finish by Mo Alley Cox. Allen's got a box out right now. That's how they're going to get back in this game. The little things for VCU, or win this game, I should say. They're down 3, 2:45 to go.
Can't forget what happened in 2011. The terrific run by VCU to the Final Four.
An 11 seed going all the way, knocking off big-time teams. Georgetown, Purdue. That Florida State game, remember it well. And then, of course, the big one, the #1 seed, Kansas. People already punched Kansas into the Final Four. And a battle of two little guys, Butler and VCU. Who ever would have picked that?
And how about the coaching matchup in that game, too? Butler and VCU.
Two of the best in the business. And at the time, I think Shaka was, what, 34? Brad Stevens around the same age. I mean, they're very young coaches, very successful.
Now this has become his time of year. A win today would give him 30 in the month of March as the head coach at VCU, now in his 6th season. But they have to overcome the Spiders first, who they have failed to beat on 2 occasions already this season and trailing by 3. Shot clock still winding down.
If Allen come handle the ball, that kind of just alleviates pressure because Cox doesn't want to guard him 30 feet from the hoop. It helps him bleed the clock.
4 to shoot. Here's Anthony. JeQuan Lewis going to take it himself. And he gets the foul.
Great job pushing it, getting it deep into the paint off transition. And they haven't done the great job of that. Haven't had many opportunities. Good transition defense by the Spiders. But here, they're a little late getting back. You see Terry Allen just falling asleep on the weak side. You got to help there.
And for TJ Klein, that's his 4th personal foul. JeQuan Lewis also playing with 4. Kind of a dangerous move to the basket. Could have been called for an offensive foul, but he hits the free throw here to pull them to within 2. One-point game. Havoc in full effect.
Allows them to set up their pressure in this building now. It's hyped. That could have been offensive foul. Kendall Anthony right there.
A wide open Trey Davis, and he walked with it. He was indecisive when he caught the ball.
It's the exact word. You got to make decisive, solid decisions against this pressure.
And watch how wide open he is here.
He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know, should I attack or should I go pull it out? There, I would say you attack. It's a 3-on-2 odd man situation. He's wide open 15 feet from the hoop. Attack, try to finish.
2 minutes to go in a 1-point game. Travion Graham blocked by Nelson Oda and out of bounds to the Rams.
Nice job by Doda. Good recovery. Good move by Graham to beat him first, but on the spin, he gets the best of the lefty.
He's 3rd all-time in block shots at Richmond.
That's a good one. Let's see Graham use that shot fake, head fake.
Graham pulling up. Mo Alley Cox the rebound. 3 in the air. Doug Brooks.
And again, created off of Mo Alley Cox offensive rebounds. He has been a force on the boards the last 4 or 5 minutes, keeping possessions alive, giving them chances to score when they're not shooting the ball well. There's Brooks, dialing up wide open. We always say one of the best times to shoot a 3-pointer is off an offensive rebound. They got the kick out to Johnson. Johnson, extra pass. Brooks buries it.
It's the 15th lead change, but the first time VCU has actually led since it was 39-38. 7-0 run has carried them to a 2-point advantage now with 1.5 minutes to play. So if you're Chris Mooney in the huddle here, what is the message to the Spiders?
First and foremost, calm down. We've got to break this pressure, so let's just, keep your head, keep your wits about you, keep playing, keep attacking the pressure. Don't be scared of it. Once we get it across, if you can score, go score if you have an odd man break. If not, he would have told them what set they're going to run, get in something, look to be aggressive.
VCU eliminated Richmond in the quarterfinal round last year, trying to do the same here this afternoon.
As I play again, everybody elevated, high-low.
Into TJ Klein.
Great play call, but Klein's got to bust it to get back now. It's a 4-on-5 advantage.
Doug Brooks gives it off for Mo Alley Cox. The basket and the foul.
Great response from VCU. I love the play ball call by Chris Mooney. Get the layup. See everybody elevated. See, they do this double screen away. That's all decoy action. He actually got our cameraman for a second. But there's Klein, high-low, gets the lob, finishes, but he's trying to get back into play. Transition basket. We saw JeQuan Lewis do it a couple possessions ago. This is huge. Scoring before Richmond sets up makes it so much easier for the Rams to get on the board.
Sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia at the free throw line for the first time today.
Less than a minute, under a minute will be, but no need for a three. You've got the best available shot.
Kendall Anthony, and a foul on VCU.
I believe that'll be their 7th, and they'll send Anthony to the line, which would be huge. And that was the play call, a simple high ball screen, let your best player go try to make a play, and on the season, he's 10th in the conference in free throw shooting at 78%.
Travion Graham, his 3rd personal foul, and even though Kendall Anthony leads all scorers with 23 points, these are his first free throws of the day. And now VCU is going to work the clock.
No need to foul here. You just got to get a stop if you're Richmond.
Richmond 0 of 5 from the free throw line here today.
Say it again. Heisman once told me, foul shots win ball games. They might just isolate Adota and Graham one-on-one. Your best player, great for himself or a teammate.
Shot clock under 10 now. Travion Graham blocked by Nelson Adota. Here's Kendall Anthony on the run. He slips and falls down and loses it. Out of bounds to VCU.
That's unfortunate. You hate to see that happen. Great player, just loses footing. He was a jet up the court too there. Tries to plant on the right foot, just goes out from under him. Now you're going to have to foul with 18 seconds left. Shot clock off. You have time possibly for one trap though. You get one trap, maybe you get a turnover. If not, foul, 5 seconds run off. Maybe.
Now getting some of the sweat up off the floor where he slipped and went down.
Shaka Smart's going to get a timeout as we watch this. It's unfortunate. He was flying up the court, but just lost his footing.
Well, so many times he has made that play and converted the basket on the other end. Not that time, and now Richmond in a hole. Under 20 seconds to go. Still a one-possession game, but they're down by 3. This is how VCU has finally overcome the Spiders.
And it was a couple things. It was making shots, getting out in transition, and then the offensive rebounds. Mo Alley Cox getting rebounds. This shot was off an O-board. This is a nice drive and dish by Brooks to Mo Alley Cox. Guys making plays. They stepped up. They went and took control of this game. And unfortunately for Richmond, it seemed like they played the last couple minutes not to lose instead of to win. And that travel by Trey Davis really sums it up when they had an opportunity to have an odd man break and he traveled with nobody on him.
A 10-2 run for VCU in just inside the last 3 minutes.
You see Briante Weber right there, dapping up Coach Smart, getting guys hyped, being vocal. He knows if they have the opportunity right now just to be smart, control the ball, get themselves a free throw line, they can ice this game.
VCU has been very good from the line so far today. Comes into Doug Brooks. Now Melvin Johnson, and he's going to be fouled by Deion Taylor.
They went for one trap. Brooks was able to get out of it. Got his head up, delivered the pass, and Melvin Johnson's going to head the line now.
That's 4 personal fouls on Deion Taylor, and just about 4 seconds run off the clock.
For as good as a shooter as he is, Melvin Johnson, in league play, though, he's shot 65% from the free throw line coming into this tournament. So he's had to step up when the pressure's on the line here and knock these down.
First time at the free throw line today coming up for Melvin Johnson, who leads VCU in scoring. He's the only player in double figures with 19 points. But 4 of those coming in this second half. He did most of his damage back in the first half, but that free throw is key. It makes it a 2-possession game.
Still for Richmond, you don't need a 3. You need the best available shot, but you got to push it. Obviously, time is of the essence right now.
VCU 86% from the free throw line here today. The lead is 5. Kendall Anthony gives it to Terry Allen, and he scores. And a quick timeout by the Spiders.
Perfectly executed and a smart play again. But how many times have we said that today? A smart play by Kendall Anthony. A lot of guys would have forced that runner in the lane. No, he saw his teammate cutting, dropped it off to him. Easy layup. Now you get in it again. 8.7. You don't really have a lot of time for a trap now. So you're going to try to deny all over, I would say. If you could foul right away. If you get a piece of the ball, obviously it's great. If not, foul right away. Extend the game. Make VCU make free throws.
But the Rams have answered the challenge, just like yesterday, when Fordham really pushed them in the second-round game and had them on the ropes at times. The Spiders have been in control at several junctures here this afternoon, but VCU seems to be finding a way through it.
And that's what does matter, is finding a way through, but I don't know how long they can live like this in the A10 tournament and even more so in the NCAA tournament. They have to be able to shoot the ball and be more consistent on the offensive end. One thing they can do, though, is offensive rebound. And Mo Alley Cox has been a beast today, and they need more of that if they want to move further down in this tournament or in the NCAA.
Comes into Melvin Johnson, and he's fouled. Right at midcourt with 6.4 left to play. And now it's double bonus time. Trey Davis with his 3rd personal foul for Richmond. So 2 free throws for the Rams. They're 13 of 15 from the line here today.
They can huddle by Shaka right now. Johnson, give him the ball. Shoot it. They can all walk over there.
Shaka talking to his 4 other players on the court as Johnson is at the free throw line.
And you see him just now, Shaka just yell no fouls to the guys out. Stay out of line. No fouls, and now communicating to Melvin Johnson what the play call is defensively. And for Richmond, again, best available shot at 6.4. Probably going to be a triple.
2-possession game. Kendall Anthony throws up a 3, and he hits it with 0.9 on the clock. And a whistle before the inbound.
Calling, that's good, obviously, because the clock
it's a Richmond foul.
Yeah, Richmond foul. Clock didn't move.
Kendall Anthony gets called for the foul, so the clock doesn't move. VCU will come to the other end for free throws, however.
Now you got 2 free throws. You just got to make 1. But this is kind of, he's just made play after play. We've seen 2 seniors really play great today. Steve Zach in the first game for LaSalle, and then Kendall Anthony today.
So he gets the first, and now this to really put it away.
64% on the day, but on the seas, but when they needed them, they have made free throws today 89%.
But he misses. TJ Klein throwing it up and would not have counted. And VCU closes the game on a 15-7 run. The Rams are going back to the semifinals of the A10 tournament.
And Shaka Smart said that double overtime loss they had last time they played, that they hung around, they thought they were going to steal one, and they ended up losing in double OT. Here was, I think they hung around and they did steal one. I think Richmond, just like both games, I think the team that lost actually played better for the balance of the game, but you got to do little things. Offense, defensive rebound, make free throws, and make big plays at critical times.
Melvin Johnson led them in scoring with 23 points. JeQuan Lewis also in double figures with 10. And now it is number 5 Richmond moving on to face number 1 Davidson tomorrow in the first of the 2 semifinals of the A10 tournament here at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And let's go to Carolyn.
Shaka, congratulations on advancing in the tournament. One of the things you preached to your guys was be the aggressor. You told us it was one of the keys to the game. How satisfied are you with the way that they stepped up in the second half when you asked them to?
Well, we definitely went through some adversity. Gave them some easy baskets in transition, had our stretches where we couldn't score, but our guys kept fighting. We got stops when we needed to, and then we made some big offensive plays when we had to.
You said the shots are going to fall eventually. It's going to happen. The dam's going to break. What kind of step did you take towards that today?
Well, you know, we just want to get great shots when we can get them, and I thought today we finally did a better job of knocking them down. Listen, our guys aren't missing on purpose, so for them to be able to jump up and make those shots says a lot about their character.
Just lastly, how would you assess the play of Trevion Graham? He's been in a boot when he hasn't been in the floor. He was tested in a back-to-back today. What did you see? What do you need from him?
He's a warrior. You know, he gets a lot of attention from the other team's defense. He's not quite 100%, but he's still able to go out there and battle every day. Really proud of him to go back-to-back because he really hasn't been able to do that practice-wise in a long time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Dallin, how do you size up this semifinal encounter between VCU and Davidson tomorrow?
I mean, they played a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't even a game. Davidson beat them by 27, and at home, they dominated from start to finish. VCU will have that in the back of their mind, but they mentioned one of the key things. Trevion Graham, he hasn't even practiced back-to-back days. Now he's got to play a back-to-back games and guard those Davidson guys, chasing them all over the court. It's going to be very, very difficult. Davidson, I think,